What is up guys, it's Goods and Stuffs here from Respawn Ninja. Today we are looking at the BenQ EX2780Q gaming monitor. So before we jump into the actual review, let's talk about the specs on paper and what you get. It is a 27-inch monitor, which is a pretty much standard size for a lot of gaming monitors these days. It is a 144Hz refresh rate, so good news for gamers out there. It is not 240Hz, but 144Hz is pretty good for mainstream market. 2K resolution, or in other words 1440p, so it's a bit more actual screen real estate than a 1080p monitor. All right, so that's pretty much about it. It is a $799 monitor right now, which is quite a expensive monitor, but let's have a look at the actual review and see what you get for the price. All right, so let's have a look at this monitor, some hands-on, some close-up look at it. So as you can see, it's a 27-inch monitor. It is an IPS panel. It's a matte display as well. So the viewing angles are good on it because of the IPS. So if you from the left here, still can kind of see the Call of Duty main menu screen. Some gripes about the monitor. For $800, it doesn't have a really good stand. The stand is very minimal, restrictive. Like there's only like a front tilt and a back tilt, and it only goes so far. For $800 monitor, I expected like a better stand than this. The other thing I didn't like about the design is it's like a bronze black color, bronze brown color, unfortunately. It's a bit weird in terms of like a color choice. I like my kind of like stuff more black, more neutral colors, black, white, that's it. Brown's an odd choice and may not actually fit with a lot of people's setups. But still it's pretty alright actually. On the front here, you actually have the speakers. So one of the main selling points of this BenQ monitor is the speakers. So it's a 2.1 channel speaker, 2 channel speakers here, and on the back, what we'll show you in a minute, is the actual subwoofers. So one of the unique aspects about this monitor is you do get a remote control. So not a lot of PC monitors come with remote control. Quickly change stuff. You got HDRi, which we'll go into that a little bit later, and obviously the volume and such. So you don't have to actually touch the monitor to do a lot of the settings, and you can turn it off as well. So, all right, so let's have a look at the back of the monitor here. So some kind of unique design aspects. It is very thick, as you can see. So not really a thin monitor, but it's not bad. On the back here, you do have the subwoofer. So a lot of the sound bounces off the wall if you're facing it towards the wall, which is probably the best way to use this monitor. And obviously you got superior sound by Trevolo. I'm not too sure what Trevolo is. I think it's a BenQ brand. But the speakers on these monitor is absolutely insane. It's actually pretty good. I can play off this if I'm playing like a mainstream game whatsoever. It's excellent. Like, I do highly recommend using the speakers on this monitor, and not a lot of monitors have really good speakers. So if you just want to casually sit back, watch a movie, Netflix whatsoever, this monitor is really good. And they dubbed it as an entertainment monitor, so it's not really like a targeted gaming monitor, but if you do multimedia stuff, especially like watching movies like I do, Netflix and stuff like that on the computer, it's a really good entertainment speaker setup.
Echo 3-1 to Charlie 2 actual.
Going for actual.
LZ is in sight.
Echo 3-1. Good effect on target. Viking is RTB. Good hunting.
Let's go through some of those aspects here. You got the controls here at the back. So you got your toggle switch, so you can control the actual UI. Again, you do have the remote control. So you got your standard connections here. You got your display port, HDMI, USB, and your power. So nothing too fancy there. One of the coolest aspects is that you do have this cover here, so you can cable manage and route your actual cables down here like I did. So you got a power and display port coming out, and you can kind of close it off. Okay, it's a bit hard to put back on, but yeah, you can kind of like neatly organize your cables. Yeah, but it's pretty much the back of the monitor. Pretty some cool design aspects there. Let's just get into the gaming and entertainment side of it. All right, so I've been using this monitor for a week now, predominantly with gaming and some movies. So I'm just going to give you an opinion. For gamers, it is a 144Hz refresh rate, so it's good enough for like, obviously your standardized like, Call of Duty, CSGO, etc. For like more esports, kind of professional wannabes and stuff like that, you want to go for the Xiaomi range, which they go up to 240Hz now, so more FPS the better. But as a standard user, 144Hz is pretty good enough. BenQ has utilized a few features from the Xiaomi monitors into this. You do get the black equalizer as well as some of the settings you get from the Xiaomi series. So if you want to go a bit more competitive side with this monitor, without jumping onto a Xiaomi range, you can as well. So it has some of the BenQ features as well. You got brightness intelligent plus feature inside, and you got the HDRi. So I want to touch on the brightness intelligence plus. It may not be for everyone because it does take your surrounding lighting and adjust the monitor's brightness to obviously help with your eyesight. So BenQ does a lot of eye care kind of features and monitor range. So if you want something that's good for your eyes, you can. But obviously someone like me, who my eyes are already screwed up anyway, I don't really care about those kind of features. But if you do, that's great. The HDRi, I'm not 200% sold on it. I just don't really see the value of it in terms of gaming. There are gaming modes and stuff, but I never really got the feel of it. For movies and such, it's all right. You kind of boost the colors. It's not real HDR from what I can tell. It's kind of like obviously simulating that. But for gaming, as you can see, I will turn on HDR and it makes the game a bit darker. And I can't justify, as someone like me, it's actually a bit weird to look at those kind of colors. But for terms of like movies and such and stuff like that, it's fine. But gaming, I'm not really 100% sold on using the HDRi. So that is a feature there if you want to use it for multimedia stuff. But for gamers, you might want to turn that off like that. As you can see, like I turn it off. It's probably hard to see on camera, but I turn off HDRi and the quality seems a bit more sharper and better. All right, so the BenQ EX2780Q, I think I got that right. Basically is a multimedia kind of entertainment monitor. So it's not primarily focused in gaming side of things, even though we did play some games on it. In terms of like Netflix, kind of like movie watching on it, it's actually pretty good. As you can see, the quality is amazing on it. The HDR, also if you want deeper blacks, especially in movies, you can turn it on. As you can see, you got deeper blacks on there. It's better in terms of the movie side of things than gaming. So if you want to use like HDRi, you probably want to use it for actual movies on this. On the speaker side of things, this monitor is great. As mentioned before, it's got the 2-channel speakers on the front and the subwoofer on the back. Really hard to obviously mimic on camera, but in terms of using this for like a TV or something like that, sit back and watch some movies or something, this is great. You don't have to use headphones, and that's one of the brilliant things about the Trevolo speakers for this BenQ monitor. So the BenQ EX2780Q is actually a brilliant monitor. It has 2 use case scenarios for a gamer and the multimedia side of things. It takes everything the Xiaomi has in terms of features I like black equalizer, fast refresh rate, custom settings, and put it into a BenQ IPS monitor. So that's excellent. Some of the features I didn't like is the HDRi, obviously the brightness intelligence plus is kind of maybe for only certain people that will probably use it. More the movies, like entertainment side of things. For gamers, not really, I don't think so. And obviously the design of it, I don't really like the bronze kind of look for it. It looks a bit weird. Some people may like it, some people may not. And the actual stand itself is very restrictive. You can tilt it forward and backwards. You can't, tilt it left and right, kind of adjust the height, etc. So, for $800, it's kind of a bit of a hefty price tag for something that's obviously restrictive. In terms of everything else, I don't mind this monitor. It is $800. It's quite expensive. But if you're a person that uses it for, general mainstream user that wants it for gaming, entertainment wise, best of both worlds, the BenQ EX2780Q has my recommendation. That's pretty much it. Good stuff from Respawn Ninja. Hope you enjoyed this kind of like overview, review, and personal opinion on the monitor. If you do have this monitor or any other questions, hit up the comments or let me know.